in remembrance of 9/11, 24 years ago. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes of the August 28th, 2025 regular meeting of the Culver County Council. Councilors, and we had a chance to review the minutes. Any additions or corrections?
Motion to approve.
Mr. Monroe moves to approve the minutes. And a second. Second by Mr. Neer. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
I abstain.
And Mr. Ricciardi abstains. Next on the agenda is Viki Brown from Dustin's place.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to come and give you a quick update. Thank you for your support of Dustin's Place and our new facility that we were able to build. It is complete and it is fully funded. And so thanks to the generosity of our community, we are entering that space this week completely debt-free as the only children's group center in the entire northwest side of Indiana. And I handed out, anyone wants one? Ribbon cutting, October 1st. We would love to have any of you there to celebrate with us and to recognize this huge accomplishment.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thanks. Thank you guys for your support.
Thank you very much, Vicki.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Next on the agenda is Tracy Gordon, Culver, Lake Maxinkuckee Visitor Center. Fall Fest.
That's me. I put in a fall fest, event permit. It's gonna be on, Saturday, October 25th. You got my event permit?
I do.
Okay, good. Did you have any questions about it?
No. It's pretty standard locking issue. We'll hit it during May. Okay.
That's perfectly fine. I just didn't know if there was anything.
Thank you.
you needed to know.
There is. Thank you.
Perfect.
I'm sorry to apologize. We missed an item on the agenda, and that's public concern. Utility ordinance violations and appeals. Anyone in the room for any of the above? Yes, sir.
Terry Chesapeake, 525 Plymouth. Just a question about maybe getting an update on the parking painting stripes. They.
Jumped the gun on managers now there, Gary, but yeah. We have, Chad and Bob have provided a list for the current no parking that needs painting. Bob says that that's looking like in about a week. We're gonna start that. I'm also working on ordinance for the end of the month. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought. We're gonna add some disability parking as well as some new no parking and working with Chad as well on that. There's at least 3 streets on that list we're looking at and could be a 4th. So we'll be getting to that at the end of the month. The painting is scheduled for a week to 2 weeks, and we also are going to resume with the tree trimming and cutting down next week too. So you'll see us in town.
And another question for you perhaps is, Seawell, I see pipes are laid out there. Are they gonna start construction on that connection?
They're moving towards it. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Anyone online?
No one's unmuting.
Pardon?
There's no one unmuting.
No one done. Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on then to old business. The award of the Pier installation and removal contract.
I shared with the council last meeting, and since then had communications with questions and discussions with each individual member, nothing together. I'm asking tonight for the council's recommendation towards the Pier contract after reading it in consideration.
Yeah, I was one of the people that had a couple questions because One of the contracts, I think it was the Johnson one, that had the lower bid amount didn't appear to have materials and, I don't know, quite correct information. Was a little confusing too, because they were putting in projected price and used the word projected throughout some of it.
One of the concerns is when he called me beforehand, he had concern with the fact that I'm asking for material a year and a half in advance. And I said, I need something locked in, usually with a 10% contingency in there. That was problematic. And then I also took him down to the piers and we did look at the materials. I didn't want to use what we had already existing for B Pier that we bought, because I wanted the proposal to recommend the materials for themselves. Not using a cookie cutter format. Somebody may have a different way of doing it. So those materials are based upon his calculations. I would agree that given what we have in the past and knowing what A period is, I don't know if those are accurate. I don't know what the price point difference would be, but I would agree with that. The scope of labor there might be off.
And it seemed like it was open for potential additions to it. Where the other two were very crystal clear, this is our number. And one of those was much lower than the other, which was, I think, others.
Mhm.
So with that in mind, I wasn't totally sure how we handle it, just knowing. I mean, it's pretty significant cost in general. And if it goes, we don't know if that one's gonna go up or not. So from that standpoint, I was leaning toward the ballot but one myself, but I wanted to see what other council members, when you comparing apples to apples there.
That's a good point.
I have the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, prefer the price of question.
So we make the motion to approve the ballot bid proposal. So I would make that motion to accept that proposal.
Bill, we comment here.
Sure.
John Helfrey, if I may, I'm a boat leaser at the park pier. And all I want to say, not knowing what the name of the company that did it last year, I just met them tonight. Great, compared to the year before. I'm very satisfied with the work that was done this year on the pier system versus last year.
Thanks, John. Appreciate your input.
Thank you.
Promotion.
Mr. Monroe moves to award the Pier contract to Mr. Valaquat, Kent second by Mr. Ricciardi. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign.
With the council permission, then I will take the proposal, work with Kevin to draw up a contract, and we'll have that signed for the October beginning for the removal. Appreciate it. Thank you, council.
Next on the agenda is the third read of ordinance 2025-008. An ordinance amending and restating ordinance 2016-017, 2014-010, 2008-01, and 2022-004, being the ordinance establishing rates and charges for the use of the services rendered by the waterworks system of the town of Culver.
Yeah, do we need to let people know we changed the 75 to 100 for the,
Yeah, I think it was in your
deposit.
proposal, but yeah, the deposit would go up to $75. And then the bank fees, if a check bounces, then it would be $10 plus any bank fees that are charged to the town. Just, I wanted to have that clear in the ordinance, and I had been looking for some language saying such. I think I communicated that with you.
Yeah.
But I was.
I appreciate that, Karen. I just want to make sure on third read it. I would make a motion to pass
Can I
that
also
third read
add?
with those changes.
Yeah, can I also add that I would put the effective date, because there was some questions about that, for the January bill. So that's the bill that people will receive the 1st of February to February 14th.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I would motion that we pass this on third read with those,
Yes,
minor
third
tweaks that
read.
were made.
Ordinance 2025-008 is there a second? Second by Mr. Muir. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those same sign. New business. Consideration of a support letter for the Culver Union Township Public Library. You have that letter, Kevin?
I have a draft of a letter. What I'm seeking is for the council. There are two letters. I'm sending one individually as town manager. I'd also draft one for the council with your permission and would ask the council if that is something you want to support. If I could have you approve our council president's signature to that letter, and I'll present the draft to our president for signature when he comes in, if that's acceptable.
You want to explain a little bit about what it is?
Did we not all receive did you guys, did you receive? I thought I forwarded the email. I'm sorry.
Everyone received
I
one?
don't want to labor over it, but yeah,
Kevin, it would
Okay.
be a collective letter.
it would be a collective letter from the council, exactly. And just for the audience, so they have a little bit of summary, what they're asking for at the public library is to take the existing computer space that is there and create more of an environment that's teenage friendly. It's still a lab area, but it would be additional space for constructive. I could even imagine an entrepreneurial type environment down there, but they want to create more of a teenage friendly space. It's something that's absent, obviously, inside of our community, something that they're talking about at the basement of Beach Lodge and creating more space for teens to gather, share ideas, work after school, and obviously would still serve computer needs, which you would assume everybody has a laptop, the school doesn't provide, but it would be an additional space to do work for that way. So sort of a meeting room for teens.
Are they applying for a grant?
They are, so through the Subaru, it's a $16,000 grant. And they have strong support for it, so I'd like to be able to offer the council support as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I motion to authorize Kevin to send a letter on behalf of the town council that Bill Cleavenger would sign as council president.
Mr. removes support of a letter for the Culver Union Township Library. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ricciardi. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you, council.
Next is the Dune Pay, number 8 approval.
Getting close to the end. There's a collective sigh of relief. There, I have actually two requests. The first is to approve the Dune's Pay application number 8, and that is for $121,865. And this is for the release of ready grant funds to be transferred to the reimbursement fund.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Moreau moves to approve application number 8. Second by Ms. Ricciardi. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Okay, and then the second one is to approve the reimbursement request for $120,000 to Culver Equities. So this is the money that is in the reimbursement fund that would actually be paid to Culver Equities as a reimbursement.
Second.
Mr. Nair, do you move? Yeah, Secretary moved to approve a payment to Culver Equity, seconded by Ms. Monroe. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign.
I would just ask for the council president's signature on both.
Thank you. Next, department reports, emergency services.
Yeah, council would like to give you an update on paramedic staffing. I'm happy to say for the remainder of September, every shift is already covered. Paramedic shifts are covered, and we're already got everything covered for October, which that hasn't happened for months this far in advance. So as of right now, all shifts are all paramedic shifts are covered for the rest of September and October. So I just wanted to update, let you guys know about that. And I've got a couple actually applications for part-time paramedics. I'm kind of in the process of interviewing them right now, so that's positive as well. Keep you updated on the staff. That's all I got.
Anything else, Mike? Okay. Thank you very much. Chad?
Thank you, council members. You should have received our August monthly reports in your boxes. Just a couple of things. So you had previously approved for us to get those 3 new mobile computers. We did get those delivered. I've got them all programmed with the programs that we need to run those. Those are installed in the cars. And I was able to find the paperwork from our ones that we replaced. And those were right at 10 years old. Those were purchased in August of 15. So I think that we got pretty good life out of those, with those bouncing around in a car continuously and being in the car in all inclement weathers, hot and cold. I think 10 years is pretty good. We didn't really realize how slow they were until you put an efficient computer in there. And then you really realize they were 10 years old. So I'm continuing to obtain quotes for some of the things we talked about at budget. Radios, hopefully I can get those in within this month. I heard there may be a significant increase on a mobile radio next month, so I'm working on getting that, as well as some updates on firearms and our body armor. Last week, Officer Zerby and I went over to the academy and attended the Appeals on Wheels that they hosted over there, which the Indiana Court of Appeals, who actually did a hearing on campus over there. So we took advantage of going over there and sitting in and watching that hearing. And the other thing is, at the last meeting, Councilman Croy had brought up some questions in regards to what I was talking about with the school crossing guard. I have forwarded some of that information. I appreciate Attorney Tankersley getting me some of the law stuff and his recommendations on that. But just to be transparent to the public, it was in regards to the school crossing guard, on whether another entity like the school may be willing to take that, and that may be some considerations that take place in the future, but I think we need to do that at a time, maybe in the summer, when we're not pressing to get somebody in that position, and those can be some conversations. But in a nutshell, wherever that school crossing zone is who the governing body should be to appoint and hire that position. We do have that position within our department already. So I'm just planning on going ahead and advertising and replacing that so that we can get going and alleviate the day shift officer doing that. So we can get a dedicated person in that position. If there's ever any discussions that need to come down at a later time, then we can have those probably at an appropriate time of the season. And that's all I have unless you have any further.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Park, anybody could speak on behalf of Park?
She was able to attend this evening.
All right. Utilities, Bob, are you there?
I'm online. I have nothing for you unless you have questions for me.
We barely hear you.
That's coming through. Something wrong with that movement. It's not. Do you have anything, Bob?
I do not. Do you have anything for me?
Anything from that? No. Bob, anything for us?
I have nothing.
Yes, not. Okay, next on the agenda is the town manager. Brief tonight.
First thing, as a council president, I promise. Twice relying on this. Steve Corsi is going to be leaving us. He tendered his resignation letter effective September, well, not effective, excuse me, but dated September 8th, 2025 to the council members. This letter is to notify you that I will resign from my position as Culver Building Commissioner on October 31st, 2025. The reason for this advance notice is to allow the town to begin the process, to search for a suitable replacement candidate. In the event that the candidate is found prior to October 31st, I will resign to allow for the new building commissioner to begin their role. After resignation, I will still be available for questions and help if needed. Thank you for the opportunity to work with an amazing team at Town Hall and the good people of Culver, Steve Corsi. I'm working with Steve to do a job description for an advertisement. We'll be putting it out there probably here in the next week or two. Any recommendations are greatly appreciated. Steve's going to be hard to replace. He's been consistent for us, and it's gonna be hard to replace, so we're gonna need that time to find somebody. I appreciate any recommendations. Committed. Next on the agenda for me, at least, is town council needs a couple permits to consider special events. We have 9/25/2025 from 6 to 8 p.m. Monday, it is I'm trying to read that, some type of party. I'm trying to make pajamas party. 100 people, parking lot of St. Mary of the Lake on Lewis Street. St. Mary of the Lake is one of our frequent customers. They're gonna have a bonfire. They'll be around the church. Request to block off Lewis Street from 6 to 8 for our out-the-door party. Everybody familiar with Lewis Street, but literally that's nothing.
Like an hour.
Yes. Parishioners will clean up. Alcohol will be served. There is a yes to that. We will have parishioners who are medical and fire personnel in attendance. And do you anticipate any sound amplification? No. So we will run this by still the department head, but I'm looking for council's approval for the permit.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Monroe moves to approve application for St. Mary's Church. Second by Mr. Neer. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Next permit is our Fall Fest. Yeah, I got you, I promise. October 24th to 25th. Friday is 5 to 10 p.m. and Saturday will be 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Estimated is 500 guests between Main Street between Madison and Washington Street. We will be, parking spots are available, first come, first serve on side streets. I'm assuming you want that barricaded off, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay,
And we've always had like there's a couple kinds of barricades. So we've had the one where the movable ones,
we're going to,
and then we've had the one that's like the concrete one.
yeah, we're going to use probably the water, so the plastic filled with water.
Will we be able to move those? Because we're gonna have to move like our food people in.
What we can do is, what Bob can do is he'll offset them, stagger them, so you'll be able to drive diagonal.
So like, a food truck could get around that.
I assume so. I'll coordinate with Bob and I'll let him answer that question directly, okay? But I know that's what he's recommending.
Okay.
Also, the businesses have been contacted, all the Main Street businesses. 2 banners will be posted on Main Street. Alcohol, you did not answer, but no.
Oh, it's the answer. It's highlighted, but I didn't use the color copier.
Okay.
No.
Oh, yeah, it is. It says yes.
Okay.
Faintly see that now. So there will be alcohol. Thank you. I suppose you work with that.
Yes.
Okay, additional trash cans are going to be there. EMS will be on call, coordinate with EMS, and anticipating sound equipment, and the answer is yes. Pending department approval, we're at 5, but can I get council's approval tonight for the special permit?
Motion to approve.
Mr. Monroe moves to approve Fall Fest. Second by Mr. Ricciardi. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Thank you very much.
Carrie took some of my thunder at the beginning, obviously, on that word painting question, but we're painting. Appreciate Bob and Jack coordinating that, keeping me with that. Personnel handbook, been working on that. Karen and I both have gotten it down to the last, I think, final edits. We'll be contacting department heads and having to sit down, running through that with them and just putting the finishing touches on that, probably anticipating in September for those meetings. And then we'll be coming to you in October for an approval. Cafe Max's 40th. If you're not doing anything Saturday, they're going to be up at Main Street. They're going to have the Porta Chicken Nelson's down there. That's always a big draw. And a little bit of wine and beer. I think they've got it corded off and the shops are going to be open. So hopefully that'll be, and I think Vinny might have said, or somebody said it, 40 years for a restaurant. That's impressive. Definitely impressive in this environment. So go celebrate with Susie and have a good time. And that's it for me tonight, guys. Thanks.
Ms. Heim, your report?
On the course report, the claims over 2,500, they have all been previously approved or they're operational. I would just point out that we had Emmy Simpson in due to large meter testing, that was 3,400. Strategic sourcing was the computers that Chad referenced for 5,700. And then also I paid the third quarter payment to NCDC, Marshall County Development Corporation, 500. So there's really no approval needed there. The budget, just a reminder that the public hearing on the 2026 budget is set for September 25th. The notice of the, funds meeting the property tax level and those that appear on, the budget are posted outside. I also submitted those, or shared those over Town Garden Lake and my media distribution list. And also if you go to the Indiana website, go to the Department of Local Government Finance under Gateway, you can sign up to receive emails regarding, budget hearings. And the final thing I have is the townwide garage sales will be September 26th and 27th. If you want to be on that, give me your information. And townwide cleanup is scheduled for Monday, October 6th. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Council issues, Mr. Mayor,
You know, I had a,
Ms. Monroe.
I just want to congratulate Cafe Max, iconic restaurant, and if Steve Gorski wants to stick around after hiring to help train, I would be so for that. That's it.
That's right.
And I would like to congratulate Susan as well on 40 years. It's definitely a long time for a business.
I'd like to ditto those statements. I think it's quite an accomplishment for them for starting in 1985 and being here in 40 years in the restaurant. It's quite an accomplishment.
Motion to adjourn claims.
Ms. Monroe moved to adjourn the claims.
second,
Second by Mr. Mayor. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.